So, The Fantastic Four First Steps is Marvel's next big tentpole movie coming out in July. Ticket sales are already online. And I don't know whether to believe this or not, but the reported ticket sales crashed Fandango's website and a bunch of other websites in America. Personally, when I went to look at my local cinema, I live in the middle of nowhere in England. They're not even on sale here. I couldn't find it anywhere. But the reported pre-sales are actually up there. We're going to go over them a little bit in this video. Also, the footage they went over at CCXP and also the newest trailer footage confirms stuff from plot leaks over 6 months ago, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but it's not a bad thing. I think in terms of how Galactus looks, Marvel are freaking cooking. So make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the pop culture content that we deliver here. Subscribe channel, please. It really does help. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Also, I've got a channel on Instagram where I can post stuff that I'm not allowed to post on here. Also, I'm going to start posting on the TikToks very soon. Warstu. So check that out, please. Follow me over there. And follow us out on Twitter. Warstu G. Right. So this is coming courtesy of someone quite credible when it comes to reporting box office reports and stuff like that, from Louise. He says, and it's not only Fandango, I can tell you from all pre-sale kicks off I've followed at this is realistically the US box office. The Fantastic First Steps movie is one of the strongest comic book movies in a very long time. The first 24 hours was 1.2 times ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which made quite a lot of money. And then it goes on to say, slightly behind Thor Love and Thunder. Although that wasn't received well, that movie did actually make a lot of money. By itself could mean potential for an opening weekend flirting with what Thor 4 had, which would be good. Now, it goes on to say the Fantastic Four has an advantage in its peak summer release slot, which allows stronger walk-ups than Guardians of the Galaxy, for instance, if W is strong. Obviously, always important to keep in mind, this is just the first day. Traditional fanboy heavy and pre-sales for MCU comic book movies have become more front-loaded as years go by, and we are 50 days away from release. Quite challenging, big window to keep pre-sales for a moment up. So marketing teams will basically have to get on hype now. But for all doom and gloom, post-Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts pre-sales have basically is saying it's a really strong kick to kick off. And some people are claiming now it will do like $800 to $1 billion, which I always find it weird when people make projections based off like social media traffic and, you know, what people were saying, because realistically, unless y'all are going to actually put your money in your pockets and actually pay for things, it really doesn't matter. So is the comic book fatigue over? I don't know. I just think it's bad storyline fatigue because, let's be honest, we have had Deadpool and Wolverine did absolute bare numbers. So Lilo and Stitch, bare numbers. The potential is still there. So if you remember a while back, some information came out, right? Okay, spoilers. The Silver Surfer is going after the Fantastic Four ship while Sue is in labor and Reed is trying to help her. Ben then proceeds to take over control of the ship. Johnny tries to cause a distraction and stop the Silver Surfer. Johnny proceeds to make fun of her. Reed tells Ben to go back into the black hole and to trust him. Apparently, we also see Mole Man in a teaser in a red suit. And why am I saying it? Because that's what's shown at CCXP, and some variation of this is kind of shown in the most recent trailer. There's a plot leak going way, way back that says Mole Man, the first Fantastic Four villain who lives in an underground kingdom of Subterranean, is not actually a bad guy and helps them save the world in the end. So parts of this plot leak were true, but this part here, and this came out months ago, Silver Surfer arrives on Halloween night. Sue is pregnant at this point. The Fantastic Four confront her in the Fantastic Car, and the first lines are, "I herald his begin, I herald you the end, I herald Galactus." Johnny tries to chase her, but she flees into a space where he can't flame on due to lack of oxygen. So a good proportion of said plot leak does turn out to be true based on footage we've seen. Now, we are so far out, over 50 days, because this comes out towards the end of July. I really hope Marvel doesn't do the Marvel thing and ruin everything where they show too much. In said footage, this was the footage that was released the day that the tickets went on sale. we did get to see Galactus's foot, which was a good thing. It looks like we are actually getting a proper full-on Galactus. Now, they have actually revealed Franklin Richards. We actually see both Sue and both Reed literally, you know, having him on the bed and playing with him. The Omega level, omnipotent, powerful being. And some people are like, how did he get his powers? Well, I think it's self-explanatory how he got his powers. But it is interesting. But I think the more telling thing here is to do with the actual post-credit scene that we know is true. Because the director's coming out and saying, yeah, he's not in my movie. Well, the post-credit scene for Thunderbolts was not directed by the director for Thunderbolts either. So within the post-credit scene, it doesn't actually predominantly say exactly what happens in terms. So it reads like this. Sue is reading a book to Franklin. She gets up to grab another one. In the background, we hear the sound of a teleportation device activating. When she returns, she freezes. The book slips from her hand. Standing before her is a cloaked figure, Dr. Doom. We don't see his face, but we see his body visually beneath a silver cloak in one hand. He holds his iconic rendered CGI mask in the other hand. He carries an unconscious Franklin. Cut to black. Fantastic Four will return. Avengers Doomsday. See, this has been out there for like a week or so, but what I find interesting, I've not seen any posts on Instagram, TikTok, like pop up. No one's like, yo, why is Dr. Doom all of a sudden got Franklin Richards? Now, there were leaks a while back saying that Franklin Richards would have powers to time jump from one universe. Okay, I guess it's not technically a time jump. Well, I guess it is if you're jumping from one space to the next. It is Franklin Richards would have powers to jump from one space to the next. Now, this makes me believe that if this is a reason why he's going to take Franklin Richards, but Franklin Richards is still a baby, is this the case that Dr. Doom is from the same universe as the Fantastic Four and he can't figure out a way to get to said other universes? This post-credit scene actually, it gives you more questions than answers. And the director coming out saying, and it's marketing again, because the director's talking about Dr. Doom saying, yeah, he's not in my movie. I mean, the post-credit scene isn't actually part of the movie, so to speak. It's more of a tease for what's to come. But the fact that with footage we've had on the trailer they released for the ticket sales being open, although I can't find them in the UK, literally a lot of that does actually confirm stuff from plot leaks from a very long time ago. We see the Silver Surfer, and you can kind of somewhat take stuff from plot leaks, relay it to this actual trailer, and you can conclude that, yes, the plot leaks are going to be 100% true. Not only that, we've had test screenings already, and we've been on that before, so we're not going to fully go over that. But based on that, it also says the same thing, that the test screen information packs up that the leaks from months ago were actually true. But what is interesting is the actual negatives from the people in test screening is apparently the gender swap of Silver Surfer, not really a gender swap. Mr. Fantastic's facial hair, I'm reading this from an article, I just thought it'd be interesting to actually show you, is Invisible Woman being the leader not a bad thing, because I know you guys and lads and ladettes don't like this. Pedro Pascal's a bad actor. I don't think he's very good. I think Vanessa Kirby is a lot better actor. The Thing doesn't have the Boston accent, but if these were normies, right, let me get this right. If these people in the test screenings were normies, why would any of this stuff irritate them? Because they wouldn't know that there's a different version of Silver Surfer. The mustache thing on Pedro Pascal, Reed, wouldn't annoy him. Sue being in charge, okay, that may annoy him, but the accent thing, how would you even know about the accent thing? So very interested to see how this movie's going to go. I think it sounds pretty badass. It's just a case of execution, like is always the case. And them releasing a 20-inch Galactus popcorn bucket in America that you can't get in the UK is marketing genius, and this movie could do great because Galactus is in it. The Fantastic Four movies have never really done well when they were owned previously on the Foxverse, have they? No, they never really did well, but this could bang. I can't see Kevin Feige letting them put out a bad movie. I know you got a lot of people saying this movie's going to tank, and yeah, I mean, some of my titles are edgy, so you might think I think that, but I honestly don't think that. I think this movie is at least going to hit the 700 mark-ish. So likewise, guys, let us know what you think down below, and I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.